has advised Governor Siminalayi Fubara to focus on delivering his development. He said the governor should not be distracted again. But Dr. Tam George spoke with correspondent Soibio Ruwari while commenting on the ongoing political crisis in the state.
Governor Fubara has the sovereign legitimacy of the Rivers people to roll out his developmental agenda. I have seen his budget. I have seen his social development ideas. He needs to roll out his ideas on a sector-by-sector basis, run a very inclusive administration that will materially change the circumstances of our people, change the trajectory of the state, and end his place in history. In every political environment, there will be noisemakers, all kinds of people who will seek to distract him. He needs to focus on his place in history, deliver.
Moving on, the police arrested 3 suspected armed robbers on the Abuja-Olu-Obasanjo bypass in Port Harcourt this morning. The state police spokesperson, Grace Iringekoko, says the suspects were arrested by operatives of the Olu-Obasanjo division and investigation is ongoing. Well, it was gathered that the police chased the suspect through Idiobu, causing residents to scamper for safety. Well, some traders told our correspondent that some goods were destroyed when the armed robbers who drove in a Sienna car tried to escape from the police. Away from that, NAFDAC spokesperson for South-South Zone, Cyril Monyi, says the enforcement of the ban on the sale of alcoholic beverages in sachets and PET bottles is because of the risks to young people's safety. He said the ban is to protect the younger generation and to stop commercial drivers from drinking and driving. When Mr. Monyi spoke on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire today.
A discussion with stakeholders, Consumer Safety Commission, and the manufacturers and the Federal Ministry of Health, including NAFDA. So it has been an ongoing process since 2018 that smaller units of alcohol being sold in sachets and the PET bottles of the drinkable bottles should be stopped due to the health of especially our young ones, because they do take it easily affordable. Now we are enforcing the ban. Thank you.
Meanwhile, a petty trader in Port Harcourt who sells alcohol in sachets appealed for more time to sell off their products.
In a way, it's a good thing anyway, but then it will somehow affect us, just as it's a new thing. I know as time goes on, we'll get used to it. But since they are trying to remove it, they will find another alternative so that we too, this thing can see, because all it has been as it has been. Even they stop it from market. I know the producer, they make sure the producer they stop producing it.
Well, some residents also spoke on the ban.
This topic, I love it and I like it. Of hardship to the help people to chop rubbish. How banning of this thing, I like and for people and some people that do.
The sellers should not sell for children underage. Even if there are message you send children in our country now, we show them road before their times.
The brain go to our parents by sending them to go and get it for them. Because by so doing it, they will get used to it. Or this is contribute into all this drug abuse.
Even if what they say they go, they don't ban them now. They don't carry out. Because I'm not going to go, she don't get. Total different thing.
This is not our problem for now in this country. The problem is this hungry we are facing.
Problem that things are increasing. People are hungry. Let them know. Put eyes into those things. Train your child very well. Then let the government put eye on food.
Well, yesterday, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, started enforcing the ban on alcoholic beverages in sachets and small volume PET and glass bottles below 200 milliliters. Well, the agency had stopped their registration since January 2022. In other news, Rivers State has now joined other states to establish an active health insurance scheme. Well, this follows an approval by Governor Siminalayi Fubara for the implementation of the Rivers State Contributory Health Protection Program. Well, the Executive Secretary of the State Contributory Health Program, Veti Agala, urged residents of the state to take advantage of it. Correspondent.
We have what we call the Equity Health Plan. That's a plan for the vulnerable population where government can support those who cannot pay to access health insurance. And then we have the informal sector plan. That plan, everyone in Rivers State can buy into that plan. We have what we call the formal sector plan that government workers can buy into, where a percentage of their basic salary is contributed to the pool.
Well, Dr. Agala also said they aim to ensure transparency and accountability to deliver high-quality healthcare services.
If people are making their payments, then they should be able to get the kind of quality of care that we have missed them, meaning that we would have to do those inspections of facilities, sign up facilities that have the right mix of health workers, that have the right equipment, that have the facility. Of course, primary care will go through the primary health care system. That's the entry point of health insurance. Beneficiaries, enrollees would have to know what their rights are and what they expect us to do for.
As you may know, the Rivers State Contributory Health Protection Program law was passed by the State Assembly in 2021 but was not implemented until now, which made Rivers State the only state in Nigeria without an active state health insurance scheme. Still to come, women protest lingering power outage amid night heat wave in Port Harcourt. Stay tuned. Some women from Mile 2 and 3 axis of Diobu in Port Harcourt City local government area of Rivers State protested over poor power supply amid the heat wave at night. The women who marched through some of the streets before heading to the office of the Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company (PHED) in the area said the continued power outage has negatively affected their families. They told correspondent Soibio Ruwari that they will remobilize for another protest if the condition is not improved.
We come to tell NEPA, no light for my 3 area, Ojo to Dim and Wokoma. We dey pay bill, we know they see light. When they will come to tell NEPA, say, we no see light, no bill this month. It affects us by making our soup sour. Even our husband won't climb upstairs. No way, heat's too much. No light. The candle now we dey use, and candle go burn another man yard. Put us for trouble. We dey protest and NEPA give us light. We know they see light. Every week we dey throw away soup. Even for the knocking side, we know they see light. Yesterday night, my husband won't knock me because of too much of heat. I say I no go feed because no light. May them give us light. If they don't give us light, we no go pay bill this month. So government, we dey beg on make an tell NEPA people to give us light.
Recall that the PHED attributed the power outage witnessed in some parts of the state to the collapse of the national grid, and the Transmission Company of Nigeria said on Monday that the grid has been fully restored, but many parts of Port Harcourt are still without electricity. And this comes amid the heat wave experienced mostly at night. Away from that, as world marks International Day of Zero Tolerance Against Female Genital Mutilation, FGM, a survivor has spoken up about the impact it has had on her life and marriage. The survivor, who spoke anonymously to correspondent Martha Okirinkem, said some parts of her female reproductive organ was cut at infancy and was only made aware of it by her mother, who told her years later she said the circumcision impacted her sexual life negatively.
A lot of people are circumcised. They may not appreciate the fact that they have a problem. It begins to show up in the area of marriage when there is little or no satisfaction on her and the partner. In one man's word, it's like a log of wood. It ends one's sexual life even before one has begun. That's the major impact. And it can frustrate marriage relationships if there is no understanding or no deliberate plan to work on it or find a way around it.
While the FGM survivor also advised new mothers not to carry on the practice, saying there are many complications for female children who are circumcised at birth.
There's easy tearing in that part of the area because skin has been carved out. Everything is completely removed. Periods are almost near difficult. There's even possibility of some level of infertility because they've almost stitched up the vagina. So there is no benefit, there is no help, and sometimes it can be a life of pain.
As you may know, girls who undergo female genital mutilation face complications like severe pain, shock, excessive bleeding, infections, and difficulty in passing urine, as well as long-term consequences on their sexual and reproductive health and even mental health. And more than 200 million girls and women alive today have undergone female genital mutilation. But this year, nearly 4.4 million girls will be at risk of this harmful practice. And the theme for this year is Her Voice, Her Future. On the foreign scene, the authorities in the Brazilian city of Rio de Janeiro have declared a health emergency as they try to contain the spread of dengue fever. The incidence of the mosquito-borne disease quadrupled in Brazil in January compared to the same month last year, when Rio has registered 10,000 cases so far this year compared to 23,000 for the whole of 2023. And that's the news, but before we go, let's take a look at the highlights. A court has extended the restraining order on the arrest of Rivers State Chief of Staff Edison Ehi, and the police have arrested 3 suspected armed robbers in Port Harcourt. Women have protested the lingering power outage amid night heat wave in Port Harcourt. On the foreign scene, Rio has declared a health emergency for dengue fever. Well, that was the news. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good evening.